woke up to the pitter patter of rain this morning, and so it seems like the perfect time to have a huge kitchen day. Hopefully make life a lot easier by having more things on hand. Again, it's crazy how quickly that stack of prepared food diminishes. So today I actually want to start off with some canning. Now, before I get started, disclaimer, do what you want with your canning. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I know people can be a little bit nitpicky about how you can and whether it's safe or not and all of that. So I'm actually starting off with canned baked beans. What we need for that is, of course, beans. These are navy beans, and I did already rinse them, which is why they're in the sieve. And then vinegar, ketchup. I'm just using our homemade canned ketchup that I love to do every summer, so I'm really looking forward to doing that again. We've just been planting a bunch of tomatoes, which is super exciting. Mustard, maple syrup, salt, and onion powder. Super simple recipe, but it is so delicious and so easy to pull out. To start off with, I am going to put a cup of navy beans into each jar. Well, actually, it's really wet. You might want your rubber boots. I am using the recipe from Ruthann Zimmerman and then just doing like maple syrup instead of brown sugar. And I think that is the only change. Next, we'll add a half cup of ketchup to each jar. And then half a cup of maple syrup. And then a tablespoon of vinegar, followed by half a teaspoon of mustard, and then the salt and onion powder. Then the final step is water and lids. So I have boiling water here, and I'm gonna fill the jar right up to the rim. Wipe off the rim because we wanna make sure we get a good tight seal, and then I'm heating up my lids. My mom was canning like all my growing up years, so I watched her do this many a time, but you do get a tighter seal with the lids heated up. I didn't pour water into quite all of my jars yet because I want it to be nice and hot when they go into the pressure canner, and I forget if I can fit 5 or 7 quart into my canner here. So I only did this front row with water, and then we'll do the rest once they're actually ready to go into the canner. And then these need to process for an hour and a half at 12 pounds pressure. I don't have one of those fancy electric canners that will hold its temperature, so I just have to stay on guard and keep an eye on that. By the way, if you are new to canning, when you screw on the lid, you only want to go like fingertip tightness. You would think that the tighter that you screw the lid, the firmer your seal later, but that is not the case. So you just want it to be like basically where it starts to catch. It looks like I can fit 7 jars, so that's perfect. I should be able to do this in 2 runs then. Let's see if we can keep all of our ducks in a row here. The first batch of beans is in the cooker and heating up. Keeping an eye on that, I also just mixed a batch, actually a double batch of soft pretzels, and we'll get to what we want to do with those later. We're not making actual soft pretzels, but that also needs to rise. So in the meantime, I have this big basket of bananas that needs to be used. They're quite ripe. Something that the kids have been requesting for a little while is banana muffins. So we're gonna whip up, again, at least a double batch, I think here, of banana muffins using fresh milled flour. To start off with, I'm gonna do 6 bananas. I added a cup of softened butter, and now we're coming in with a cup of honey, cup of maple syrup, and then 4 eggs, half a cup of buttermilk, and we'll stir this all together with a whisk. Then we're gonna do 4 cups of fresh milled flour. By the way, we are getting ready for our homeschool dinner tomorrow evening. It's a Pride and Prejudice theme, and so we're trying to think delicate and delicious for the meal, so it's gonna be super fun. 3 teaspoons baking powder, and then 1 teaspoon baking soda, and half a teaspoon salt. We'll mix this together well, and then it'll be ready to put in the muffin liners. My very favorite muffin liners, as you know if you've been around for a while, are the tulip liners. I love that they look kind of bakery style. I ran out and I have new ones ordered, but they're not here yet. So it's a good time to use up just my basic little liners here. I can't make these quite as full, which is kind of a bummer, but I guess on the plus side, at least I get more of them. So we're gonna start baking these. For this recipe, I start at 425, and then partway through, I'll turn the heat down, and I will leave all those instructions for you in the description box as well. Let's take a little break from the kitchen now and talk about one of my favorite skincare lines. This is a beautiful small shop, Titus 2 Tallow. If you were not around the last time I talked about them, which by the way, I know so many of you absolutely loved them then, so I'm really excited to share some of their new products now. As you can see, they have grown their selection a lot, and so there's so many good things to talk about, but Titus 2 Tallow is a faith-based small shop. All of their products is grass-fed tallow based. So incredible for your skin. I feel like in the last while, tallow has kind of become really popular, and for really good reason. I love that you can feel so good about using these products, and that there's still such a wide variety of uses for it. It's incredible to me how many things you can make out of tallow. All the scents are inspired by scents that you would smell around your home, which I really, really love. A couple of things that are new. I know we had the bar soaps, which I think are so much fun. They are so beautiful, and there's so many different colors and scents to all of them. The girls especially love some of these fun, colorful ones. There's also hand soaps, whipped soap scrub. There's a moisturizer, and then some different balms, face and body balm. Something that I use multiple times a day, usually in my kitchen, is the solid dish soap. This works really well with the little brush. Just make the brush wet and then dip it in the dish soap, and it foams up beautifully, and I really have been enjoying that one a lot. But something special coming up for Father's Day is the Father's Day gift set. It comes packaged in this nice little box, and let me open it for you because I think it is so cute. It is packaged so cute. Happy Father's Day. And then inside are a couple more like manly scents and products. And the last date to order this set to get it in time for Father's Day is June 15th. So that is coming up. Make a note of your calendar. If you would like to give them a try, Candace did give me a discount code. You can use the code ThisGoldenHour to get a free bar soap with your order. So I hope you enjoy some of these products as well. If you do, I would love to hear which ones you selected and how you're liking them. My first batch of muffins is in the oven. So while we wait on the oven now, we're gonna get started here on our soft pretzel dough because these are ready. This is another family favorite. By the way, our pretzel dough is looking really happy. This is with 100% fresh milled flour. So what we're gonna do is make these little pretzel pockets. I've actually done it on here before, but it always gets rave reviews. My favorite actually is to eat this with a creamy soup, which would be a delicious thing to have today as it is pouring rain again, but I don't think I'll have time to make that this morning. So I'm just gonna cut my cheese here into logs. I'm using my homemade cheese, but you could use whatever kind of cheese you have on hand. So I'm gonna wrap my cheese logs with the bologna and then we'll just grab a piece of pretzel dough, wrap that around it and bake.
So I'll be an offering at the potter's wheel. I give you my life. I offer my best, a sacrifice. Whatever you ask, morning and night, and every hour that shall pass, it's yours to have and hold, to mold and shape. Lord, fill this place. So fill this place.
And then to make this extra delicious is to just douse them in butter after. Makes them so, so tasty. Now these are ready for lunch. I find it is so helpful to have burgers in the freezer to just pull out easily throughout the week, especially if you're getting ready to grill or for last minute company. So today I also wanted to make a bunch for the freezer. We'll just freeze them on a cookie tray, and then as soon as they're frozen, you can just stack them in Ziploc bags or whatever. So I have, hun, how much is one pack of these?
2 pounds.
2 pounds? I have 5 packs and these are 2 pounds each. So I guess we're dealing with 10 pounds of ground beef. Recently, I have just been enjoying mixing this with seasonings, maybe some garlic powder, onion powder, instead of doing like milk and breadcrumbs and eggs and all of that. I feel like they hold their shape really, really well. And if you add enough seasoning, they have incredible flavor. So that's what we're gonna do for the ones that go into the freezer today. In my opinion, the top 3 must-haves for making burgers as far as seasonings is salt, and use it pretty heavily, as well as onion powder and then garlic powder, or I have granulated garlic here, works great. Some other herbs that pair really well with beef and that I'm planning to put in our burgers this time is sage and rosemary. Now this is rosemary that we freeze dried from the garden last year. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's in these like bigger bits, and so obviously I don't want to crunch into that in our burgers. So I went ahead and just threw some of that in the Vitamix, turned it into a powder like this, and that's what we'll put in with the burgers. And I'm just gonna use clean hands and get it all mixed well. I would. I might have to do another batch of these sometime and make them a little bit smaller. I got 19 burgers, which means these are about half a pound each. So these might be the daddy burgers, and I'll have to make some smaller ones for the kids, although this is the size mold that I usually use for the burgers, but often the kids will just eat half of one or whatever. But I'm thinking for the freezer it would also be nice to have some thinner ones, so maybe I'll do that a different day. For now, I'm just gonna pop these in the freezer like this, let them freeze, and then hopefully this evening put them in Ziploc bags, and that way they're more airtight and can last a little longer in the freezer. It always gives me a little bit of a fright when you hear that sizzling. My mom had a terrible canning accident one time where tomato juice, like burning hot tomato juice, burnt like all the way up her arm, and it was terrifying because the jar literally exploded. I forget what they figured out had happened. I think there was, I don't know if it was some like malfunction of the pressure canner. That's not supposed to happen when you're canning, but for whatever reason, this always reminds me of that. But then we get to this part and I just am all smiles again. It is so rewarding getting things canned like this. I love filling my canning shelf, which is almost empty now. So this is so exciting to see this again. I've been hearing the popping lids in the background here, which is a really good sound when you're a gardener and love canning. Right now, I am just finishing up cottage cheese. I got this started yesterday. I've shown the process many times on here, but we're at the point where I need to heat it and then reheat it. So I just did my first heat, and then this needs to sit for 10 minutes, and I'll just move it to a smaller burner then for the second time because I want to get my next batch of baked beans going. This thing takes a long time to heat up. Beautiful. Well, looks like it's clearing up out there, which has me itching to go work outside, but our list is not done yet. We have a few more things I'd like to get done here, so I'm going to pour myself a cup of tea and keep at it. This is a lemon balm peppermint mix. So refreshing. Okay, so I'm thinking before we put away the muffin tin, I have one more thing that I'd like to bake in there, and that is egg muffins. We love these. Obviously they're so versatile, so many ways to use them and mix them and things to put in and all of that. But the other day I was just feeling a little bit uninspired, shall we say, over what to make, and I just did them with eggs, and then we have some chipped ham in the freezer from pigs that we raised on the farm here, and so I diced up some of that and put that in. Maybe I did a little cottage cheese, and then literally like salt. I don't even know if I put in any other herbs, and the kids loved them, and so I thought, you know what, I should batch make this more often. So I want to make a batch of that. I don't know, I'm thinking maybe I'll do 15 eggs today. Maybe 20. There's a pretty good stack of them there again. I don't have a ton of veggies right now. My spinach is ready in the garden, but something is getting in. That's kind of the only thing that's ready vegetable-wise, but I might add in some herbs at least, and then it's just a really delicious breakfast or even afternoon snack. Next, I want to make a bake pan of one of our very favorite granola bars. These have tahini in them and dates. So you can imagine the flavor is incredible, and they are so easy to whip up. You don't have to bake them. So it's just kind of one of those throw together, press in the pan and go type deals, which is so simple. I'm going to put 5 cups of rolled oats in my food processor. And then we'll do 30 of these large medjool dates. I think these have the pit in them. Yes, they do. So we'll have to take those out. And then 2/3 cups tahini. And we'll just let this run for, I don't know, 2 minutes or so until this is like a nice thick. You want it to look honestly like a dough consistency. So the rolled oats should be completely broken down. The dates will be completely mixed in, and then we'll test it. To test it, we're just going to take a little bit like this and press it together, and if you can turn it into the shape of a ball like this and it doesn't crumble, it means it's ready to go. We're going to press this into the bottom of a 9x13 pan. My gracious, I am realizing how badly I need to go out and buy a fly swat. I don't know if you can see the flies buzzing around here. It's awful. And then also clean my screens so that I can put them in the windows and hopefully help avoid this problem in the future. But it's a little bit hard to film on the stove right now with my pressure canner going and then everything around here. But all I'm doing is just melting some chocolate now. So grab your favorite chocolate, whatever that is. You can throw in a tablespoon or 2 of coconut oil and then just let that melt, and then we'll pour that over top our base here. And then I love, and it adds such a delicious crunch to it, if once your chocolate is set, I actually store mine in the freezer, so I don't want it frozen, but just set, and then sprinkle on some sesame seeds and or some flaky sea salt. That, in my opinion, just takes it to the next level, and I absolutely love it. When I'm straining my cottage cheese, I like to pop a bucket underneath of it. I love adding whey to my baked goods in place of water. Or if I end up having too much of it, the pigs love it. So don't want to let that go to waste. These days, as it's warmer outside, we have been wanting cold snacks. So different ice cream, smoothies, sorbets, all of that has been on repeat in our home here almost every afternoon when it gets hot like that. And so I thought, let's change it up and make some popsicles. I had ordered some popsicle sticks, but they are not here yet. So I just have to tell you about this now. I experimented yesterday with a frozen yogurt that I was going to turn into the popsicles, but then since I didn't have the popsicle sticks yet, I threw it into my Ninja Creamy, which that's another great way to try this. So I'm going to go blend this up, show it to you, and then we'll talk about what's in it. Wow. That is so good and very strawberry. So it's about a cup of freeze-dried strawberry powder to 1 quart of pretty thick homemade Greek yogurt. You could obviously use bought, but a Greek yogurt, and then I sweetened it with some honey. So that's all that's in here. It is so delicious, and I would highly recommend it either as popsicles or in the Ninja Creamy like this. Creaminess galore. I wish I could give you a bite through the screen. The rest of my baked beans are not quite done yet. It looks like there'll be another half hour, 45 minutes, but I think we'll call that a wrap for today. I am itching to get outside and enjoy the beautiful sunshine now. I hope that today gave you some inspiration in your kitchen this week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, friends.
Golden, golden thing.